Welcome to the Court Electric Players Guide. This is episode 13, hopefully the last episode in a while or quite a while. In this episode, real quick, we're going to just show you how to do ad drops. Make sure you know the ad drop process. So let's get right to it. So this was the end of the auction last night, doing this on Tuesday, October 29th. You can see that we got some players in the negative, some very little money left on our true cap left. Now, this is the amount of money that's left for the actual waiver wire period. So this year, really, there's not going to be much bidding above $1 million. So we have two teams that are above $2 million. Scuba Dank with $4.3 million. DFAS or FDAS, whatever, $2.3 million. Next is Mercy with 1.6, but not very much money. So this remaining cap is used for bidding on free agents. Keep that in mind. If you are out of money, if you're like Vlade or Shake and Jake and you are actually in the negative, or if you're actually any of these teams that are really on such a low amount, once you are over the cap, you can still bid up to up to $1 million. So you can go up to $1 million. Minimum bids, of course, are $500. So whatever you've got left here, once if you are over, you can make a bid of up to $1 million. All right, so to do ad drops, we run ad drops on Thursday night, just once a week. So you got to keep track of that once a week, that is your time to bid. So I want those on Thursday night. I will contact if I have bids. I send those a copy of those to Shake and Jake just as an official check on the system, so that I'm not somehow cheating or something like that. So we have this fab process that runs Thursday nights. So you have, I believe, up until midnight on Thursday. You probably want to do it a little bit before that. But if you have a player that you want to pick up, let's say that I really want to pick up, now I got to think of a guy that is available. And let's say I want to pick up Thomas Robinson this season, or this first week. I've got Thomas Robinson. He's available. See, I've got Thomas Robinson on waivers. We then have a bid amount. It says that I have 100 remaining, which, of course, in our league would be $10 million. Now, I'm going to have to figure out a way to customize that for each team for it to be your correct amount. Perhaps the first week you might just have to know it yourself and keep track of this, but you can bid up to the amount of money that you have. If you are over the cap, then you can go up to 10, in essence, which is $1 million. So like I said, besides the two expansion teams, there's almost nothing here. And there's going to be some attractive guys that certainly end up turning out and breaking out and things. But let's say that I, as myself, I've got up to 16. So I can bid up to $1.6 million if I wanted to. So let's say I really want to get Thomas Robinson. I'm going to bid 15. And then I would submit that, and that's $1.5 million. I'm going to submit that as his contract for this season. Free agents, if you are the one that gets that free agent, of course that money is subtracted from your cap. You can go over the cap to do that. Though, of course, remember that if you are over the cap, your ability to perform trades, it can be somewhat restricted in terms of how the money has to match, but we can usually get that to work okay. The player is on a free agent deal for this season at that amount. If you want to re-sign him for next year, which definitely happens to certain players, then this is your floor for him to be either poached by another team in the restricted free agent period, or it's the floor for you to be able to re-sign him to a deal beyond this season. So this is a pretty important value to get. Again, if you don't have any money left, and you have, so you literally have what it'll say 0 here. You can do a 0 bid, and that is allowed. I think you just literally can put in 0 there. If you do put in a 0 bid, you click submit. I don't know if you're going above, you can go up to $1 million. So if you are doing a 0 bid, you have to email me or message me some way, contact me. Probably the best way is to do freeagentsystem@gmail.com. That's what it was originally created for, freeagentsystem@gmail.com, the main email address for the league. Put in if you're going above 500,000. If you're not, if I don't get an email, I don't get that or whatever, I'm just assuming 500,000. So, you might be tied for a guy or something. If two teams are tied for the same player, which tends to only happen if it's 500, but it does happen occasionally, the team with a better record at the time will get the player. The idea is that the player would rather go to a more successful team. If they're both still tied, then it goes to last year's success level, which basically, how well you did in the playoffs or whatever. If you both didn't make the playoffs, then it's going to be overall record, basically, to that point. Hopefully we don't get to that. So that's really all you got to know. Go to add drop. Put in your value. I'm going to figure out how to have everyone's correct bid amount remaining there. If it's 0 or if you have less, again, you can go up to 10, which is $1 million for those bids. Every Thursday night or Friday morning, in essence, I go through the free agent biddings and assign them. You can do one other key point I forgot. You can do sort of if-then things. So you could put on, okay, I want Thomas Robinson cut. I'm going to cut Ed Davis, but then I'm also going to put I want another player, whoever happens to, someone else that happens to be around. And you can have like 3 or 4 guys, and you can basically have them in on a priority level. I think that if you put multiple guys in, you are allowed to put in, kind of have different levels of them. If you can't, make sure I somehow know what your levels are by emailing me, something of that nature. So, best case is if you email me, but I do want you to go through the process on the website. It's a lot easier because then you can just click approve and they can just be assigned to the teams without me having to do a lot of work. But if you do want to double check and make sure that I get the information, email me as well. Because if you complain about the waiver wire, it didn't seem to work the way that you wanted it to, or it didn't go through or something like that, I'll say, well, show me the email as the paper trail. And if I don't have an email, you claim that you put in a claim on a guy or something like that, there's nothing I can do about it. So put in the bids. If you have any questions, let me know. That's it. Short, sweet. Thanks for listening.